Hey, what's going on, everybody? You know how we do, so let's just get into it. So today, I don't even know what the title is, but it's like, uh, what Southern government works for you, or what MAGA government works for you. So let's just get into it. So I always hear, you know what I'm saying, like if we just took over everything, like if MAGA and Republican ethos and laws, if they just ran everything, you know what I'm saying? Like the country would be so much better. And, oh my God, it's because all these woke liberal policies that are expensive and they're just taking everything. The reason why our education system sucks is because of liberal wokeism and, the social safety nets or why we don't have any money and like all these excuses that all the MAGA people put forth. Uh, Championing trickle down economics and all this stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like, and they all claim that it's going to make everything great. It's going to restore America to its greatest point. Even though historically, if you look at that, it's a complete and total lie that you could look up. You can see when America was great, when we had the highest GDP, when we had the most thriving middle class, like we can see what the tax levels were. We can see what administrations were in office. We can see what policies were in action. Like, and most of them were democratic policies. You know what I'm saying? It's like they had higher taxation and greater safety nets, and that's all provable. Pick your decade, go look it up. But I digress. But yet we still are trapped into this mantra that somehow Republicans are better fiscally and things will be better morally and all this kind of stuff. But my question to you, if you don't want to look at history and educate yourself or supply any evidence in that regard, is tell me what state will give you that example of like the glowing, shining Republican, example of how the whole country should be, right? Let's look at it. I want you to give me one. And if you look at just about every category, like from upward mobility to happiness to education to medical care to quality of life, every fucking category that you could really sense to be like, okay, this is something that would mean it's a good place to live. Republican states are almost dead fucking last in just about everything. Everything. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so, and it's cherry picking. I'm not saying that all of them, in every category. I mean, I will give like Texas is one of the, and of course, Florida are a couple of the outliers. And Florida mainly because of tourism, you know what I'm saying? Like, and Texas mainly because of oil. Like, their economies are the largest economies of the South. However, they are both takers from the national government. So, certain states, they give more in taxes to the federal government than they receive. Despite Texas's large economy, they still take more from the federal government than they give, right? So they're not sustainable. They're not sustainable. So a lot of the things that they have that are even good are propped up by the feds, the evil feds that they don't want, right? You know what I'm saying? They couldn't survive without the feds right now, right? But you know what state economies that are strong that don't rely on that? California and New York. They are net givers to the economy, to the United States feds, and they actually feed some of Texas with some of their tax dollars. And they don't have a natural bed of like natural resources like oil and all that kind of stuff. They actually have businesses, right? They do it the classic way. There's universities and businesses and growing industries. And like that is really the marker of a strong economy, not ones that just take advantage of natural resources that they had nothing to do to generate. It's those states that are creating those spaces like Massachusetts and Connecticut. Like they're not people that are like having natural resources, they're having large tourism coming in, but they actually had to have policies to make their state strong. You know what I'm saying? Like, and like I said, quality of life, quality of medical care, quality of education, citizen satisfaction, clean air, water, all these things that are measurable. But again, in short video, name me one state, and you can't. You cannot, because they have literally run their shit into the ground. And the only thing that stabilizes these states that are all like takers from the federal government and the other states that give more money in, they are held up by the liberal policies that they hate. And so that the question you ask people, and they say all of these liberal policies are crazy, they destroy the economy, and ever ask them to tell you what state should we just adopt all their policies. You know what I'm saying? Should it be Alabama? Should it be Mississippi? Should it be Louisiana? Should it be Arkansas? Should it be Kentucky? These are all like the lowest of the low in terms of all the aforementioned categories I stated. Is that what we want America to be? Ask yourself that question. It literally makes no sense. And on a small digression, and I've said this in other videos, it's like everyone that's not a white, straight Christian man needs to get the fuck up out of these red states. Get out. Why are you there? I understand the tie to history, but everybody that's here that's a person of color, that's not an indigenous person, has a migration story, right? Our ancestors at some point in time, either willfully or unwillfully, had to leave for mitigating circumstances. And I feel like that's the time now. Why are we giving these places that gerrymander your vote so you cannot get represented, who use your tax dollars to exploit you and support things that you don't want? Why give it to them? You know, governmental representation is based off of the population in numbers. So the more you are living there, the greater representation they have. The more you're living there and paying taxes, the more money they have to fuck you over. Get out. Move to a blue state and give them more power. Give them more money. Give them more representation. Move to a purple state. Turn it blue for real. Give them more power. Give them more money. We have to act with our feet, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, it has to happen. Imagine if all those states lost their people of color. They could be as racist as they want. They won't have the tax bases, and they won't have the representation in Congress. Just a small thought. Until next time.